Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on this topic that when it comes down to why you are born with a specific Janma Nakshatra, Moon Nakshatra. So what could be the spiritual like source for it, explanation for it. So friends, I always give you the backstory for the topics which I select for my videos. So yesterday only I was like watching one of the podcast over where the central title of that was the importance of the nakshatra. So while explaining different nakshatras and connecting people's life purpose, their personality traits, the connected deity or the god, the speaker was giving a lot of attaching a lot of importance on like why in any astrological analysis moon nakshatra plays a very significant role. Like rather I would say the whole panchang or the nakshatra plays a very significant role. So I just thought that from my perspective to my audience, I can also give you an explanation of that as well. Because you would have heard me saying or using this term lot many times that when it comes down to decoding someone's personality, if you actually want to understand a person, his traits, his personality, his life path from astrology, so ascendant and the moon nakshatra give very strong information over there. When we look at the ascendant, it tells about that aspect of your life which is tangible, which can be molded, right? But when we look at the moon nakshatra, the birth promise, the fated aspect of your life, we get to know about that. So all of that friends, we will try to understand in this video. So I will not be talking about like specific nakshatra, like if Ashwini is your Janam Tara, like your life purpose could be connected to initiating something or with speed or with healing, which could be the same with like this could be with Satbisha as well. Here we are talking more in the lines of why that specific moon nakshatra your soul has chosen at the time of the birth. So, okay, friends, like always, before we will start our discussion, we will first pray to Lord Ganesha, who is the Hindu god of auspiciousness, good omens, and who presides over all the knowledge of mystic sciences known to humankind. So, Om Vakartun Mahakai Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kuru Madeva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. So friends, the way I have already mentioned this thing that the placement of the moon in a specific nakshatra at the moment of the birth is viewed across classical Jyotish, Puranas and all the esoteric literature as the precise cosmic timestamp of a soul's mental and emotional karma. So, uh, like the way I mentioned, the core karmic principles, unveiling the subtle celestial mechanics connecting past life impressions with the precise moment of reincarnation. So we know this thing, friends, like why I have mentioned this thing that the psychological ledger of the past karma, the Sanchit karma, we have tried to connect it with the moon nakshatra. So in the classical Jyotish, like text such as Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra or Karma Vipaka Samhita, the moon, Chandra represents the manas, the mind, emotional core, memory, and instinctual reactions, while the sun signifies the Atma, like the immortal soul, and the Lagna signifies the physical vessel, like the Sthul Sharira. The moon acts as the mirror of the Sukshma Sharira, subtle astral body. The 27 nakshatra function as the cosmic storehouse where past life impressions, samskaras, and unfulfilled desires, vasanas are mapped. So you are born when the transiting moon aligns with the exact nakshatra that matches the precise frequency of your unconsumed karma, Prarabdha Karma. So we know that the nakshatra like can be seen as the karmic DNA. So the 27 nakshatras, 13 degree 20 minutes of their space in the zodiac can be called as the star mention, hold the microscopic prarabdha karma. They are the subtle emotional blueprint determining why and how the mind perceives the events. So the way I mentioned, the nakshatra can be seen as the vehicle of the Sukshma Sharira, right? In classical Jyotish, Chandra or the moon governs your manas, subconscious, and act as the mirror of the subtle body. So while the sun represents the eternal soul, the moon carries the active memory ledger from the previous birth. So the way we have just discussed, it can be seen as the reason for, or the, what could be the objective or the reason that the soul has chosen that specific nakshatra, because it will justify, that moon nakshatra will justify your unconsumed desires, the past life attachment, vasanas, and the impressions, samskaras, which remain stored in the subtle body. The magnetic pull at conception and birth, the soul is magnetically drawn to a nakshatra, matching its exact karmic frequency. So that's right. All the nakshatras have got their own karmic frequency. I couldn't tell you how many times I have seen in the whole family, even irrespective of the fact that a father who is rich, who has to select a successor to pass down the business, someone who has got the influence of the Magha, the property will come to him. The legacy will goes to him first. So it happens. It's the karmic frequency. There was a good friend of mine, the only person like who inspired me to move to Canada. No one in my whole family has ever stepped out of the country, and the only person who came to my life, who guided me and who pushed me that, Nippon, if you will move abroad, so things will be much better and safe for you. And that person, he was pure magha, both from the lagan and from the moon. And he wasn't able to, like, his objective was to inspire me and we both will move out together. And it happened for me, but in his case it never worked out. And when I later on got in touch with him, so he says I joined my family business. So magha. So, psychological texture, friends, the Janam Nakshatra molds your innate mental reactions, deep desires, and emotional nature. And the Devata integration, that's very important, like all the 27 nakshatras. So, it connects the soul to one of the 27 Vedic deities governing specific cosmic laws. So I guess that is the only reason in India, if you try to get any anushthan, any ritual done, the very first thing which the priest will ask you is your Janam Nakshatra, your moon nakshatra. So, and friends, this is the most important part. So, people who find success, people who grow in their life, it's not because they have got the best or perfectly placed planets. That is definitely important. But what matters most is the trigger factor. What activates those strong planets is the right dasha, right planetary time period. So everything in your chart regarding which planetary sequence you will find at what stage of the life is being governed by the Vimshottari dasha, and the calculation of the Vimshottari dasha is completely dependent on the your moon nakshatra. So the trigger of the life functioning, the Vimshottari dasha. So from a functional Jyotish perspective, friends, Prashara Rishi explains that the exact degree of the Janam Nakshatra, your moon star, determine the starting point and the balance of the dasha. The specific nakshatra will determine which planetary energy rules the opening phase of your life. The sequence in which your karmic events like health, lessons, relationship, spiritual evolution will unfold across a 120-year cycle. Now, friends, I also want to mention it over here, like before there was a thing people used to say, oh, the whole period of Vimshottari Dasha is 120, no one lives 120. See, we keep on coming across people across like Japan, like some of the South Asian countries, where living like 100 year, 105 years has been a common phenomenon. And now the way the whole genetic cell re-engineering is happening, scientists and the food experts are working, and people are also getting aware about their diet and all. I guess in recent one of the international conclave, there was a mic where the conversation between Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping was caught. Like, the conversation was captured, and they were also talking about the human life span, how it can be increased, and scientists have somehow gained some mastery over there. So it is not going to be an exaggeration that living 120 years in next couple of decades is going to be common phenomena in major parts of the world. So now coming back over here, So, setting the life sequence, friends. So, as detailed in the Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, the exact degree of the moon in your Janma Nakshatra calculations, it calculates the starting balance of your Vimshottari dasha. This establishes the precise timing and sequence in which past karmas mature and awaken throughout your lifetime. So now friends, over here you see why I gave mention to this autobiography of a yogi. Oh my goodness. This picture got removed. Such a beautiful cover photo of the autobiography of a yogi which I placed over here. So see, the thing is, I'm not a avid book reader, and initially when I just gotten into spirituality, I have read most of these books: Himalaya Yogi, Autobiography Yogi, you name, Who Am I, Raman Maharishi, many books. But later on, I just got focused more on towards focusing only on the astrology text only. So I mean to say, this one quote which I read in the autobiography of a yogi, which stays with me, which stuck with me, was this, that he has given this very beautiful explanation regarding that a child is born on that day and at that hour when the celestial rays are in mathematical harmony with his individual karma. Paramhansa Yogananda. So the stars do not create fate, they mathematically mirror the pre existing subtle ledger earned across prior lifetimes. So we get to know, like, books like Autobiography of Yogi and the Himalaya traditions. So, like in Autobiography Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda addresses why a person is born under specific astronomical configuration. He clarifies that a child is not merely influenced by stars at birth. Rather, the soul chooses a time of birth when the mathematical position of the planets and nakshatra perfectly mirror its own pre-existing karmic pattern. Even in the Himalaya Yogi tradition, friends, it further describes the astral body's mechanism during the transition between lives, like the astral attraction. At the moment of physical conception and birth, a soul is magnetically pulled toward a physical body and a specific planetary alignment that resonates with its dominant mental energy, Chit, and deity energies. So each nakshatra is governed by a specific Vedic deity. Like for example, Agni for Kritika, Varuna for Sadbisha, Yama for Bharni. So the specific moon nakshatra indicates which divine archetype or cosmic law the soul must engage with to balance past debts and evolve spiritually. Um, I guess, friends, now I do not want to get into the core of this thing, but I can also make a video on the different samskaras, right? In Sanatan Dharma, in the Hindu philosophies, it has been written, everything has been written in explicit detail. Like even the right time, the right panchang or the muhurat, when a husband and wife who are planning a child shall make their contact if they actually want to give birth to a very prodigious child, progeny. So there's a whole lot of, like, everything hovers around the panchang, honoring the nakshatras and the cosmic energy. So the functional summary, friends, like now we have almost reached to this um, phase, and just a summary of what we just discussed. The chitta frequency, the soul subconscious memory or the chit vibrates at a distinct resonance, pulling it toward matching cosmic rays at birth. Devata archetypes, each nakshatra deity, example Agni, Varuna, Yama, embodies a cosmic principle the soul must engage with to clear karmic debt. And the karmic resolution, the nakshatra act as a customized lens, providing the exact test needed for emotional refinement and liberation. And friends, this is what the beauty of the Sanatan Dharma is. Based on your temperament, based on your characteristics, your habits, you can get connected with a deity. See, everything in this universe, in this world, needs to be honored. Like, we cannot say that just because a lion or a tiger is carnivorous, it needs to be shunned. No, the universe have made it like that. Their survival depends on eating the flesh, and that's how they balance the whole ecosystem, right? So, based on your, it's not like that if you have more anger, more tamas quality, you are more prone to anger, you are more prone to desires or sex or aggression. That means you cannot have that spiritual growth, you cannot be evolved. So, there is no such archetype. All of your temperament is being governed by the quality of the nakshatra. Your moon nakshatra might be very ugra, might be very tikshana. So there is a path, there is a God connected with your nakshatra. Are those practices via which, based on your temperament, you can also attain that purification. There is nothing like good and bad when it comes down to spirituality. So, yes, the karmic resolution, friends. So, the nakshatra act as a customized lens, providing the exact test needed for emotional refinement and liberation. So, again, friends, the functional summary, the functional summary, if I were to talk about the why, like the whole objective or the central theme of this video or this discussion is why you have got that specific moon nakshatra, right? So you're born in a specific moon nakshatra because your subconscious mind, your chit, carries a unique frequency of past memories, attachment, and pending karmic debts. And the mechanism, friends, if I were to talk about, the moon act as the receiver, then nakshatra provide you the specific lens through which you will perceive, digest, and emotionally react to the world in this lifetime. And again, friends, the cosmic point when we talk about sun, which gives information regarding your soul, eternal soul. So the primary governing factor it covers is the core identity and the divine light. The sun's nakshatra could be the soul's outer vitality. But when we look at the moon, the Chandra, so the metaphysical entity is Manas and the Sukshma Sharira. It governs your subconscious mind and the karmas, accumulated karmas. And the nakshatra role of the moon nakshatra's role over here is that your dasha sequence get calculated over here. And when we look at the ascendant, we know that it represents the physical or the stool sharira, the physical body and the vessel. And the nakshatra, the ascendant nakshatra role is it tells more about the physical manifestation in the world. Your ascendant in the Ashwini, you might be very athletic. Your ascendant nakshatra in the Purva Falguni or in the Pushya, you might have a very comforting kind of aura around you. You can look at it this way. So yes, friends, the planetary maturity and the life cycle, everything is interconnected with your moon nakshatra, right? So we know that Jupiter gets mature at the age of 16. Saturn gets mature at the age of 36 years. So your Janam Nakshatra initiates the planetary dasha timing, dictating when these planetary maturity points trigger major spiritual and worldly breakthroughs. And the beauty of the cosmic alignment is that the person who's going to have a very, very strengthened Saturn. So at the age of 36, not only Saturn is going to be getting matured in the chart in the life of that person, but he will also be running the perfect dasha, which will be indicating some sort of achievement, some sort of accomplishment. In our human plan there might be a flaw, but the way universe function, it function with a perfect precise calculation. So yes, friends, at the end, all what I can say is that the stars are structured not to compel human destiny, but to reflect the immutable law of cause and effect written into the subtle body. So yes, friends, understanding your Janam Nakshatra transforms the past karmic patterns into self-awareness and spiritual liberation. So that goes without any saying that your Moon Nakshatra is the most important piece of puzzle of decoding your life. So yes, friends, this is something which I wanted to say. Once again, thanks a lot for watching this video.